I was organizing inventory at Patterson's Convenience Mart when my cell phone started going crazy with alerts. 19 unanswered calls from unknown numbers. My fingers were shaking as I opened the lottery application. The digits displayed on my device were an exact match. 9-17-26-38-45-52, $93 million. I'd hit the Florida Power Play jackpot. My name is Terrell Johnson, 29 years old. And before that Wednesday evening in April, I was just another person juggling multiple jobs to make ends meet. That lucky ticket was tucked inside my wallet, bought with my final $20 bill following a grueling 15-hour workday between the convenience store and my side hustle doing landscaping work. I can still picture myself standing in that brightly lit corridor, trembling uncontrollably, thinking about my mom. She'd brought me up single-handedly in our tiny two-bedroom on Jefferson Street after my dad, Marcus Johnson, abandoned us when I was 6. Running to the gas station, he'd claimed. That was 23 years back. 0 phone calls, 0 holiday cards, absolutely nothing. Mom juggled multiple positions, sanitizing corporate buildings overnight, working cafeteria duty at the middle school, braiding hair on Saturdays and Sundays, all to ensure I had food and clothing. I dialed my closest friend Jamal immediately. "Man, you for real right now?" he yelled into the receiver. "Don't breathe a word to anyone else, bro. Find yourself an attorney before making any moves." Wise counsel. But I was completely stunned, still trying to comprehend that my circumstances had just transformed entirely. I thought about Mom's calloused hands, her exhausted expression, how she'd force a smile despite being drained. This fortune would revolutionize everything for her. I had zero clue about the catastrophe heading my way. If you think relatives shouldn't take advantage of your good fortune, smash that subscribe button. Only selfish users won't. The verification procedure lasted 8 weeks. I retained Patricia Morgan, Atlanta's most reputable wealth attorney, who introduced me to financial planners, tax specialists, and protection experts. I selected the one-time payment option, $52 million following deductions. My initial purchase was getting Mom a proper home, an actual house with outdoor space in a secure community in College Park, not some lease agreement with insects and paper-thin barriers. I was at Patricia's Midtown office finalizing the documents for Mom's property when her assistant called through the intercom. "Mr. Johnson, there's someone named Marcus Johnson in reception. Claims to be your dad." My father. 23 years without contact and he materializes now. Patricia studied me cautiously. Should I have security escort him out? Something churned inside me, rage, intrigue, that foolish youthful fantasy that perhaps he'd transformed. "Allow me 5 minutes." Marcus Johnson entered that conference room sporting an ill-fitting discount suit and a grin that seemed hollow. He appeared aged, grayer, with deep creases surrounding his lips. "Terrell, son, just look at you now, all matured." He attempted to embrace me. I backed away. "What are you after?" His expression wavered. "That's harsh talk for your pop. I caught wind of your incredible luck. Watched it on television. Filled me with such pride, boy. I've had you on my mind constantly, curious how you developed. Constantly across 23 years? I realize I messed up, but I'm present now and we're blood. Family is family, Terrell." Marcus seated himself without invitation, getting cozy in Patricia's luxury chair. My attorney observed him like a predator eyeing prey. "Listen here, son, I recognize I was absent. I was immature, foolish, battling my personal struggles. Your mama and me, we had complications you can't comprehend. Leave Mom out of this," I stated firmly. He gestured defensively. "I'm merely stating there's multiple perspectives to any situation. Thing is, I've been surviving in Mobile, doing construction whenever available. Got back problems now, hospital expenses accumulating. Been considering reconnecting for ages, but ego prevented me." "Ego," I echoed without emotion. I desired to return accomplished, understand, demonstrate I'd become somebody, but circumstances kept defeating me. He shifted closer, eyes moistening. "After seeing your victory, my initial reaction wasn't financial. It was regarding my boy, my child, finally receiving what he's earned. I figured maybe this was the universe's method of reuniting us. Patricia cleared her throat pointedly. I'm residing in a mobile home park, Marcus pushed forward. Barely covering monthly payments. Developed diabetes recently. Can't purchase quality medication. Been consuming single meals most days. He produced his device, displaying images of a deteriorating trailer and hospital invoices. I'm not requesting handouts. Just perhaps, you understand, an opportunity to exist in your world again. Assist your old man regain stability. The psychological manipulation was transparent enough to make me nauseous. That night, I visited Mom's new kitchen table, genuine hardwood, not the unstable folding table we'd utilized throughout my upbringing. She was preparing turnip greens, the aroma permeating her gorgeous new residence. I mentioned Marcus's appearance. She stopped stirring, her posture going stiff. When she faced me, her features were carved from granite. That individual is toxic, Terrell. Completely toxic. Mom. Absolutely not. Her tone snapped like thunder. You don't recall everything since you were merely a toddler. But I recall. I recall him taking cash from my handbag for poker games. I recall him vanishing for entire weeks, returning reeking of budget cologne and cheaper alcohol. I recall him pawning your holiday gifts, the ones I sacrificed to purchase, to settle his gambling debts. I'd never known this information. What? That PlayStation you desperately wanted at 7? The one that vanished before you touched it? He returned it to the retailer for funds. Claimed somebody stole it from our vehicle. She roughly wiped her face. The explanation he departed wasn't cigarettes, baby. He fled because his gambling obligations caught up and he was too spineless to handle the fallout. Why keep this from me? Because you were innocent. Because even a terrible father's memory appeared preferable to understanding reality. She grasped my hands. Terrell, that individual only returned because he detected money. He'll attempt extracting everything possible from you. I'm refusing him everything, Mom. Excellent. Don't allow genetic obligation manipulate you into supporting someone who never supported you. Marcus began phoning constantly. Initially, casual conversations, inquiring about my circumstances, attempting to establish connection. Then arrived the minor favors. Could I handle his monthly payment? Only $600. His vehicle malfunctioned. Another $900. Doctor visit payments, $250 here, $400 there. Jamal cautioned me over beverages at our regular location, the Iron Horse. Man, you understand he's evaluating you, correct? Determining how much he can extract before you resist. I'm aware. I'm documenting everything. Why you even acknowledging this clown? That was the real question, wasn't it? Perhaps some damaged piece of me desired believing people could transform. Perhaps I needed proving to myself that I surpassed him, that I could demonstrate generosity where he'd shown selfishness. For months following his return, Marcus phoned with a substantial request. Son, I've been considering. You've obtained all this wealth, living comfortably. Meanwhile, your biological father's barely surviving. That doesn't feel appropriate, does it? I've provided you approximately $6,000, Marcus. $6,000? He scoffed bitterly. You received $52 million and believe $6,000 demonstrates generosity? I'm your father, half your genetics originated from me. Technically speaking, without my existence, you wouldn't be here to win anything. The sheer audacity left me breathless. Are you actually? I'm simply expressing family supports family. I believe $3 million would be reasonable, just $3 million so I can secure decent housing, address my medical conditions, maintain dignity during my retirement years. That's insignificant to you. I disconnected. He called back 22 times that evening. Marcus appeared at Mom's residence 5 days afterward. I was there repairing her dishwasher when I heard yelling from outside. Through the glass, I witnessed him confronting Mom on her new entrance, his features crimson and contorted. I was outside instantly. Leave her property immediately. This concerns me and Linda. Her name is Lisa, and you're departing now. He redirected that hideous expression toward me. You've turned my own child against me. Lisa poisoned him with fabrications. I possess rights. I'm his father. You're a biological donor, Mom stated icily. A father appears. A father contributes. A father shields. You accomplished none of those responsibilities. I was experiencing difficulties. You never comprehended the stress I endured. And presently, when I'm genuinely attempting reconciliation, you're undermining me. He thrust a finger at me. You're indebted to me, Terrell. I provided you existence. And Mom provided everything else. Leave. His eyes darkened. You'll experience regret. I attempted being cordial, attempted managing this like relatives, but if that's your preference, fine. You believe you can simply dismiss me? Observe what transpires. He departed angrily, and something frigid settled within my chest. That wasn't simply anger communicating. That was a warning. Jamal visited that evening. We sat on Mom's rear porch consuming beer in the sticky night atmosphere. You require getting ahead of this, he stated. Whatever he's scheming, you need safeguards. The legal documents were delivered at Patterson's Convenience Mart, where I continued working occasionally because remaining idle spending money created anxiety. My colleague, Amber, presented me the tan envelope with alarmed eyes. My hands remained steady opening the envelope, but my pulse pounded violently. The lawsuit heading read, Marcus Johnson vs. Terrell Johnson, claim for equitable distribution of lottery proceeds based on parental rights and biological contribution. I reviewed it multiple times before comprehension arrived. He was suing me. My father was legitimately suing me for half my lottery fortune, $26 million, asserting that as my biological parent, he maintained legal and ethical entitlement to my windfall. I immediately contacted Patricia. Tell me this is fiction. I wish that were true. Patricia's tone was somber. This represents a harassment lawsuit, Terrell. It possesses zero legal foundation. But that doesn't prevent it from being costly, lengthy, and publicly embarrassing to contest. The situation exploded. Marcus approached media outlets. Every regional news channel broadcast the story. Father sues son over lottery fortune, claims family entitlement. He conducted interviews, sobbing before cameras about his ungrateful child who'd rejected him during hardship. My phone erupted. Former acquaintances I hadn't contacted in years suddenly held opinions. Internet strangers labeled me heartless. Mom desired defending me publicly, revealing truth about Marcus's desertion and misconduct. Patricia recommended against it. Avoid fighting through media. Fight in courtroom where facts genuinely matter. Patricia's investigators examined Marcus's history for our defense. Their discoveries exceeded my worst expectations. Marcus Johnson wasn't struggling in a mobile home. He owned property in Mobile valued at $380,000. He had 2 additional children, half-siblings I'd never known, with a woman named Angela Phillips. They're 16 and 18. He's extracted money from both children throughout years, promising repayment. Never fulfilled it, Patricia explained. The investigators uncovered more. Marcus had sued his own sister over their father's inheritance. My grandfather I'd never encountered. He'd submitted fraudulent insurance claims. He'd been evicted multiple times despite having resources. There was a protection order from his former partner for intimidation. This individual is a professional manipulator, Patricia stated. He's dedicated his existence to exploiting people and leveraging family guilt. You're simply his largest opportunity yet. The initial court session was scheduled for July 22 in Broward County Circuit Court. I wore my finest suit, purchased explicitly for this occasion. Marcus appeared in that same discount suit, performing poverty for the magistrate. His attorney, a questionable-appearing individual named Stephen Ross, contended that parent-child connections established inherent responsibilities. Patricia stood composed and methodical. Your Honor, biological contribution doesn't establish legal entitlement to offspring's income. By Mr. Ross's reasoning, every parent could sue their mature children for portions of their wages. The judge, an African-American woman approximately 65 named Judge Victoria Chen, appeared unimpressed. Mr. Ross, are you genuinely contending that biological parenthood establishes financial claims to adult children's assets? Ross fumbled through documentation. Marcus's features reddened. He abruptly stood, disregarding his attorney's restraining attempts. You don't comprehend. I granted him existence. He wouldn't exist without my contribution. The courtroom fell silent. Mr. Johnson, you'll be seated and allow your counsel to speak or I'll find you in contempt, Judge Chen stated coldly. But Marcus was deteriorating, unraveling publicly after 23 years avoiding accountability. Patricia presented documentation, child support files demonstrating Marcus never contributed financially. Educational records with my mother designated as sole guardian. Medical files from my childhood with Lisa Johnson as exclusive emergency contact. 23 years of absence documented irrefutably. Then Patricia summoned Mom to testify. She spoke with quiet strength about raising me independently, about multiple employment positions, about Marcus's theft and gambling and disappearances. Did Mr. Marcus Johnson provide any financial assistance during Terrell's upbringing? Patricia inquired. No, ma'am. Judge Chen didn't require extensive deliberation. Following brief intermission, she returned with intensity in her expression. I've presided for 19 years. I've witnessed numerous frivolous lawsuits. This might represent the most outrageous. Mr. Marcus Johnson, your claim possesses absolutely zero legal validity. Biological parenthood doesn't establish ownership rights to offspring's assets. Your 23-year absence eliminates any ethical claim to parental responsibility. This lawsuit is dismissed with prejudice. Furthermore, Judge Chen continued, I'm awarding Mr. Terrell Johnson complete legal expenses and attorney costs to be compensated by the plaintiff. Mr. Marcus Johnson, you'll also pay $20,000 in penalties for filing a frivolous lawsuit designed exclusively to harass and extort. Marcus's features turned purple. Security removed him as he screamed threats and profanities. It's concluded, Patricia stated. For months afterward, I sat in my own residence, a reasonable townhouse in Miramar, with Jamal and Patricia sharing beverages on my rear deck. The legal costs Marcus owed had been recovered from his mobile property, which he'd been compelled to liquidate. I'd utilized some funds establishing trust accounts for my half-siblings, Keisha and Marcus Jr. They'd contacted me following the trial, apologizing for their father's conduct. We'd met for conversation, exchanged experiences, recognized ourselves in each other's situations. Mom was flourishing in her new residence. She'd retired from all positions and dedicated her time volunteering at the youth center, tutoring children in literacy. She'd also begun dating a gentleman named Robert who actually appeared when he promised. Revolutionary idea. I'd returned to education pursuing business administration. The lottery fortune was invested prudently, producing revenue while I constructed something purposeful with my existence. I'd also established a scholarship program for children from single-parent families because I understood intimately what that challenge represented. Marcus, from what I heard, was residing with his sister in Jacksonville, still complaining about how his ungrateful son had destroyed his existence. Some individuals never evolve. You know what the most bizarre aspect is? I mentioned to Jamal. Part of me previously felt guilty, like perhaps I should have assisted him simply because we share DNA. And presently? Now I understand that family isn't about biology. It's about who appears, who remains, who loves you when you've got nothing to provide them.